This is TWiT.
A report by Douglas Leith. He is a computer science professor in Dublin. Says, and people are getting all worked up about this, says that Google's messages and dialer apps are both sending valuable, personally identifiable information to Google servers without first gaining user permissions. So he did some work, did some studying of what was going on with these apps. Said the data that is passed along includes hashes of the messages themselves, timestamp data, phone numbers, call logs, both inbound and outgoing, call duration, and he kind of posits in the report, though not proven, that short messages would be reasonably possible to break the encryption on and read the message. I mean, I think that's how do you, I don't know. What do you think? If it's a short message and it's hashed, is that relatively easy to break? I don't know that it is, but I guess it's possible.
It's possible. But I mean, the bigger question is, it shouldn't be doing that. Period.
Right. Yeah. No question.
I live in Europe. I'm protected by GDPR. This is actually illegal.
Yeah. This
if
is
my
a violation.
phone is doing this, Google can be held accountable and find a tremendous amount of money for doing this. Now, as far as the security is concerned, they're doing it the right way. It's hashed. It's salted. It's probably not going to be leaking information that's going to be damaging to an individual user. But it still has Google collecting information that they didn't tell you about.
Yes.
And they didn't let you opt out of, which no. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't matter if it was just sending back a single letter of nonsense. It would still not be okay for them to be doing this.
Yeah. If they didn't get that permission, right? There was no information, no terms of service that indicate this type of data collection. Or the why, and the what is it used for and that sort of stuff. Some people are guessing that it has to do with, the spam blocking, because you got to know what's in a message in order to know that it's spam.
And
or
what?
whatever.
If they had asked me and they said we could use this, I would say, heck yeah. I'd love for you to.
It's a valuable service.
Precisely. But just doing it, no, sorry.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes, but I think you're right. I think this is a violation of EU's GDPR at the very least.
You know what this is? This is Google's version of Apple and their child porn search feature on iPhones.
Oh, yeah.
This is something where people are like, you're probably using it for something good. I could agree with the end result, but no, you can't just decide to do that
unilaterally.
You can't
just do it.
Yeah.
So,
it's really funny. We talked about the Google Play data safety section that developers had to fill out where you are supposed to specify what you use data for and why. Wonder what the messages data safety section looks like, or did someone forget to fill that out at messages?
It says stuff. Right. It says good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All good things. All good things.
It's fine.
It says, don't be evil. Oh, wait, no. We don't do that anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't say that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, there is the part of me that's kind of like, I know Google collects a lot of data and everything. So, I'm kind of like, they need that information to do some of the services, but it is the not telling.
Yeah. Okay.
Although at the same time, would I have known whether they told me or not? It's not like I'm pouring through the terms of service.
Here's the thing.
I'm just assuming.
Are we so far down the rabbit hole
Someone
now?
would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just assume everyone's collecting information on us, and therefore none of this is shocking, and none of it even moves the meter.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate that we're there.
Because also, Father Robert, I'll also add in my usual the Ron caveat, which everyone in the chat room will yell at me about, and I'll get stuff like that. Is that all my information that's being sent isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's just not that. I'm sorry. It's just not you can read my text. There's stupid, inane nonsense with my friends or things like that, and it's and I barely. Great. They know that I called my orthopedist's office to schedule a follow up on my knee. Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing I don't believe that the majority of people have anything really compellingly interesting, and what this information is being sent to Google, it isn't the specific contents or the data, it's times of use, length. It's things like that are allowing them to continue to evolve these applications. and I'll be honest, like it's the same thing on the ad side where we freak out about how, is Instagram listening to me and all this sort of stuff. Like me and my wife were talking the other day, there's so much crap around the house that we have bought off of getting targeted ads because they've gleaned that data from us.
Can I offer a counterpoint?
Yeah.
I think I'm right on your counterpoint.
Can I offer a conspiracy theorist almost counterpoint?
Or maybe not.
Please do.
But it's actually grounded in fact. So close to 3 years ago, I did a think tank exercise with a group of friends from DEF CON, and we worked with a telco that was looking at data coming out of protests.
There we go. Okay. So yes, we were on the same wavelength.
Specifically, they wanted to know if we could de-anonymize people who were using burner phones. So it should have been completely impossible for us to identify who individual people were. What we were able to do with just data that you can buy from any telco, any ISP will sell you this data because it's supposedly anonymized, is we were able to locate clusters. So these devices seem to move around at the same time. So we figured, okay, that's a social group. Now what we did was we looked at where did those individual people come from, and we would only need one within every group to have turned off their real phone right before they turned on their burner phone. And we were able to associate it with the real phone. Now, once we had the real phone identity, we could find out which individuals that real identity was contacting with, and we could de-anonymize the entire group. Now, from there, we could go into their social media usage, and we could find out these are the things that they're interested in. These are the things that they're passionate about, and we could develop profiles on individuals who should be completely anonymous. Now, we did this in an afternoon. And we actually developed a decent process to do it for the entire data set. So I get you. Individually, my stuff is not that important, but who I communicate also compromises the people with whom I communicate.
Mm-hmm. Yep, but again, I will counter that counterpoint that you're talking about a very, very small minority.
Yes.
Right. And you're talking, yes. And like Lord knows, I would, emotionally align myself with that minority and would want to support them and stuff like that. But again, I don't know. You're talking real needle in the haystack stuff.
No, I get that. So, I get that.
And with consequences, I mean, consequence to somebody. Yeah. And if there's a way to do it responsibly, or you know what I mean, so that's somebody who isn't privileged to be in my position to not be impacted by it, then great. Like add in the permission so that person can say, you know what, I've got a lot on the line here. I can't afford to use this phone because if I do, my life is in danger. You know? Right.
Well, and in that case, then I would hope or would imagine that they have the knowledge to know not to use it, or and this is where we go back to. Yeah. This is where we go back to give the users the choice that like to turn it on or turn it off or do whatever you need to. Yeah. So I'm right there with you in that regard. But for the most people, this doesn't matter.
Yeah. As an aside, if you are using a burner phone, don't post to your social media accounts from the burner phone.
Hey guys, this is a burner phone.
Just gonna throw that out there. Just gonna.
Yeah, probably a bad idea. Yeah. Yes, indeed.